Hello, my name is Haley Williams,
And my name is Salam Maturja.
and this is our COVID-19 NISD bus health plan.
So currently, our purpose of this proposal is that COVID-19 presents a unique danger to students, faculty, and staff at schools and districts across the nation, especially in highly utilized, highly populated, and cramped locations, such as school buses. To protect populations that are at risk and to protect the student body in general, structural and behavioral modifications have to be made by school districts in order to reduce the spread of the coronavirus on these buses.
So here is our overview of our project as a whole. As Savell previously mentioned, COVID-19 looms over every single professional setting and its danger is known, but it's even more prevalent in the school setting because of a lack of initiatives that are in schools currently. So the district's response to this danger will not only influence individual health within the students, it'll also magnify and influence public health. So currently limitations of the bus setting are the tight space that can't be changed and the inflexible numbers, as there are students that need to take the bus and that can't be changed also. Pre-existing procedures implemented by the CDC include social distancing of 6 feet that will be used in our embarking and disembarking routine, and also a mask mandate that will be used on all buses by all members of the bus. Our four-part response consists of, first of all, our sign health reminders, second, our sanitization stations, third, our plastic dividers, and fourth, our new embarking and disembarking routine. Preliminary goals for this is a 20% decrease in COVID-19 contraction on school buses, which will be measured by our quarantine and diagnosis survey. Overall, there will be a 10% decrease in school COVID-19 cases, and that is our overall goal. Importance of this is that it will improve school-wide health, and even more so, improve community health and decrease community cases.
So, our overall goal of this proposal is to reduce the spread of COVID-19 contraction by 20% on school buses by implementing physical and behavioral changes for students, bus drivers, and on the bus itself.
Objectives for this project is to decrease the incidence of COVID-19 contraction by 20%, and this will cause a 10% decrease in COVID-19 contraction on the bus as a whole. We'll do this by using social distancing, plastic dividers, signs, masks, and antibacterial stations. Secondly, 100% of students will be educated and informed on these new bus procedures, and 100% of equipment such as our dividers, antibacterial stations, signs, and our antibacterial and disinfectant wipes will all be installed on buses.
So, as Haley said earlier, our proposal is it has a four-part plan that will all be implemented to make sure the spread of the coronavirus reduces by 20%. So part one of that plan is the design of health posters that will be put around buses so that students can look at these posters and understand and remember CDC guidelines so that they stay safe. So there's multiple steps of this part one, but the main steps include making a poster design, which will take about 7 days, and we'll need a graphic designer. And it should not cost anything because we hope that the graphic designer will donate his or her time to help schools in this weird time. Then the poster will be inspected by the district superintendent and the health inspector. This will take about a day and should not cost anything. Next, supplies will be ordered for poster printing. Supplies include cardstock paper and lamination plastic. This will be done with the graphic designer and the district's chief financial officer. And by our estimates, it will cost about $200 to order enough paper and plastic, and it should take about 14 days for those supplies to arrive. Then the graphic designer will print the posters. This should take about 3 days and should not cost anything. Next, the posters will be distributed to the school buses and the bus drivers, but this is a two-part process where the graphic designer will first give the posters to the school secretaries and front offices, and then the front offices will give it to the bus drivers. This should take about 2 days and should cost about $440 so that we can buy enough wipes to clean all the posters twice, and so that we can buy enough masking tape so that the bus drivers can attach these posters to their buses. Next, as I just said, the bus drivers will attach the posters. This should take about 1 day and not cost anything. And then finally, poster placement will be inspected on the buses by the assistant superintendent of facilities to make sure that the posters are easily understood and easily read and they're not placed in some random locations. And this should take about 1 day. So overall, this whole part one should take about 1 month, should cost about $740. And this part will decrease the COVID-19 spread by about 2%. Next, part 2 is a sanitizing station that will be implemented in the front of the buses. This is a shorter plan, but this is just as important as the other one. So first, step 1 would be to order supplies. We will need to order hand sanitizer and disinfectant wipes so that the bus drivers can clean their hands and can clean each seat that the student will be sitting in. Ordering supplies will be done once again with the help of the chief financial officer. By our estimates, it should cost about $37,000 to order enough hand sanitizer and disinfectant wipes for each bus for the whole year. And it should take about 16 days for all those products to arrive. Next, these supplies will be distributed to the bus drivers once again through the school secretaries in their front offices. It should take about 2 days and should cost about $14 to buy enough disinfectant wipes so that all the so that each supply that's ordered can be cleaned, so that neither the school secretary nor the bus drivers potentially contract COVID-19. Next, training videos will need to be recorded with the help of a videographer, actor, and health inspector. So to record training videos to show how to correctly use hand sanitizer and how to correctly use disinfectant wipes to clean school buses. These videos will be sent to bus drivers, students, and parents across the district. It will take about 20 days to record the videos, and it should cost about $6,000 to hire a videographer and an actor. Finally, the training videos will be inspected and distributed. This should take about 1 day and should be done with the help of a health inspector and the assistant superintendent for human resources. They should watch the videos to see if the videos follow CDC guidelines for COVID-19 and if they're easy to understand and aren't confusing. They should not cost anything, and they should, as I just said, take about 1 day. So overall, part 2 of this process should take about 1.3 months, should cost about $43,000, and we hope that it will decrease coronavirus contraction by about 6%.
The third part of our plan is the most ambitious and the longest part, but hopefully will have the most gain. Overall, it's supposed to decrease our cases by 8%, so that will account for 8% of our 20%. This is our plastic dividers. So I'll be covering the steps and the essential support, and you can look at the time frame, and we'll cover overall time frame and price. The first process will be the design process of the divider. A biomedical engineer will be employed, and they will create a new idea for a plastic divider that contracts and retracts. This will be free because they will donate their time. The design inspection will be done by local health scientists to make sure that the design made by the biomedical engineer correctly identifies the needs for a plastic divider on a school bus. Then there will be a quote agreement where NISD board members will work with representatives from Fabritech, our chief company. Fabritech is known for their use of plastic dividers in response to COVID-19, and so they will agree on a quote, and this will take about 7 days and be free. Manufacturing will occur at Fabritech. That will be the main location. They'll be making a bunch of plastic dividers. We'll be covering about 200 buses with 24 to 26 seats. So this will cost about $1.6 million. This was our kind of big one, but obviously it's because of the magnitude of buses that we have. Installation will be done by general contractors and take about $2 million to be done on all of these buses. Overall time frame for this step will be 4.5 months, and the overall price will be about $3.6 million. But again, it accounts for 8% of our 20%, so it is very necessary. Our next part is our bus procedure creation. The first step, again, I'll go over steps in essential support. The procedure creation will be done by a local health scientist and will be done in conjunction with a Reliant Transportation representative. Reliant Transportation is our current provider for buses in NISD, and so they will work together to create a bus procedure that is practical and efficient. So the price of this would be about $50,000, and that covers the price of the time of our Reliant Transportation representative. The next thing that will happen is a testing period where 3 of the procedures will be tested for efficiency, and they'll be rated on a scale of 1 through 10, along with the amount of time that it takes for those plans to be put into place in case of emergency. This will be done by the Assistant Superintendent of Facilities, Mr. Tim McClure, and NISD students that will be paid in volunteer hours and a badge in their e-portfolio. And then we will have a video filming period where a videographer will use 10 NISD students to show the process of embarking and disembarking the bus for students and parents in the district. The cost of that videographer will be about $5,000, and again, volunteer hours and a badge in the e-portfolio for students. And then we'll have a training period of about 14 days for Reliant bus drivers to go through that training and get informed on the procedure. And the video will be sent to parents and students across the district so that they know what they'll be expected to know and do starting the first day of school. NISD will contribute $2,000 to the implementation of this training. and the rest of it is expected to be taken up by the Reliant Transportation Company. If this is accepted, then we will be forced to find another transportation company. Overall time frame for this step is 1.5 months, and the overall price is $57,000, and this accounts for about 4% of our 20% decrease. Costs and benefits. We've gone over the price for each one, so the big thing here is that the total price will be about $3,701,000 to implement this process. Benefits is that it's a multifaceted approach to decreasing cases, as it targets both surface and air transmission routes. And it can be completed around over the summer period, but will definitely be done before students enter the schools on the first day of school. Areas for improvement are high prices, which can be negotiated down, potential application to other settings, although that can be quite easy because of the limitations that the bus has that other places do not. And it's dependent on students' responsibility, which is basically applicable for every plan in the district, so that's kind of not unique.
So I know we just went over a lot, and I'd like to summarize it and show our next steps forward. So overall, this is a 4-part plan that will all be implemented at the same time, since neither part is dependent on the other, and so we can hopefully all complete it before the school starts. And then after this project is completed, student health, the impact will be exponential due to the fact that it targets both surface and air transmission. Next, this project will help decrease COVID-19 cases throughout the district, giving Northwest ISD a chance to stay open so that they can teach students in person. Now, however, to monitor if our bus plan works, we will have to do a statistical study and data collection will be done at the beginning and end of the year to make sure that our plan actually did decrease coronavirus contraction by 20% throughout the district. And this bus health plan is designed to decrease contact between students on the bus by creating a barrier between them, promoting behavior that minimizes the transmission of COVID-19 virus, and creating overall changes to the culture of the bus in order to guarantee a safer environment for students and bus drivers and the overall community.
We would like to thank you so much for our references. We hope to work with you in the future on a grant proposal for buses. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching.